What's happening, everybody? It's Extreme Florida Sportsman. I'm Chris. We're out today on WMA in Central Florida, doing some scouting today. I got a quota hunt coming up, and in about a week and a half, 2 weekish. So we're out looking for spots. I'm actually truthfully really looking for new spots because I hunt out here a lot, and I want to see new areas before I go in and check all my old stuff and everything I already been through before. So that's what we're out here doing today, is seeing if we can find any new areas we can sit on and find any deer this year. So we're gonna be looking for food sources. We're gonna be looking for bedding areas. We're gonna be looking for watering holes, but not really specifically because it's Florida, and when it rains there'll be pockets of puddles of water and swamp everywhere. The deer have all types of stuff to drink, so that's really not too much of a concern. But finding what they're eating on and where they're bedding down at, that is more of a concern for me. And then as we have here, we got acorns. So we got acorns. And we're gonna be also looking for timberline, because deer down here, they like to skirt the timberline. They actually like using these trails a lot. It's a lot easier for them to walk through, but they'll kind of stay within this. They kind of like the feel of the overgrowth and brush against them. So, you know, that they'll weave in and out of cover. They won't really break too much from that and be wide out in the open like that. Oh wow, this is nice. Real thick. I don't think anything coming back through here, but acorns for days. Alright, keep moving. I found a little trail back here. I'm gonna cut down it, see if I see any sign on it, find any places interesting to sit on. It's kind of thick. Ooh, look at this guy. Oh, he is awesome. So this guy right here is the yellow garden spider. Now, if you look at him compared to my thumb, which is right next to him, I might add, he is he is pretty huge. Now, these spiders, believe it or not, they're relatively harmless. They really won't bite you like that unless provoked. They're easily identifiable with that zigzag pattern on their back. Yeah, their bite, if they happen to bite you, is more or less comparable to that of like a bee sting. Um, they're really intimidating, more or less just for their size. Like I said, that's my thumb next to this guy, and he's huge. So you'll see them. They make these orb webs that are their silk is really thick, their web. So like it when you're walking through trails and you don't see their little spider web that they have, and you walk through it, the spider web itself it's really thick. It has some pretty good tensile strength to it, I'm not gonna lie. But the scarier part about it, really, or about these guys, truthfully, is their size. And they'll freak people out that are scared of spiders. But as I said before, they're actually relatively harmless. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna leave him alone. He's right there. I'm gonna go around this way. Peace, dude. See what we got going on back here. Kind of stops here. Really makes its way through that way. This looks like something a hog would run through. Yeah, it gets really thick back there. Alright, well, not going this way. I'm gonna make our way back past this yellow garden spider. Keep on moving. Well, I wanted to check that tree line, but there's no trail to it. And the trail here is all overgrown and covered. So, make my way back to the truck. And we're gonna continue down on this road. See if we can find anything else to walk on. I wanted to walk down here first and see if I could find any trails before I drove down it. You never know what you might see walking up, being quiet. You know, you might see deer, everything in the distance that the truck might scare away. So sometimes it's good to get out and walk through some land instead of cruise through it. Plus you get to see the details on the ground. Yep, so that's where the magic happens. You know, looking at the ground, look at the sign is how you know what you got going on around you in the area. You got deer crossing through, if you got hogs crossing through, if you got turkey in the area, you know. So 100% when it comes to scouting, getting out and actually walking the field is 1,000,000% necessary. And also too, you know, being able to bounce from spot to spot, especially if you're, you know, if you're kind of in a rush on time, and you really need to check out certain areas, it's really good to go ahead and log those areas in to whatever map system you're working with, and then, you know, use your vehicle to get in close, you know, to those spots. Get on your feet, check those spots out. If you don't see nothing, real quick, bounce to the next spot. You know, don't waste too much time in an area if you think that the area is not promising, or if you don't see any sign in it, or it's kind of dead. Keep moving. More ground to cover. So I left my backpack at the truck. I seen the area right up here. Really, it's right down here. I wanted to check out from the truck, so I backed up real quick and hopped out. I just threw my belt on real quick and just ran out here. It drops down. This is a bowl area, huh? Piece of rebar. It's weird. This looks like it's not flat. Maybe right here. I don't really see this stuff laid down too tough for it to be a bed. It possibly could be a nice little area. Yeah, we'll scrape it. Swamped out. There's no sign back here at all. So what I'm gonna do is, there's a tree line that runs around here, and the back side of this area is kind of bowled out like this. You just can't get through here because this is all swamp. But I want to hit, I think there's a trail that will run me along the wood line, so I'm gonna try to go and hit that. Well, this is the edge of the hardwoods right here, and there's no trail back here for it. And I don't want to go the other way around that I know there's a trail, because I was just parked over there, because the wind's in the wrong direction and I don't want to blow everything up and, you know, spook everything out, excuse me. So keep moving. Yeah, I'll definitely come back and check that spot out when the wind switches up. But it looks promising. The only bad part about the area that I was checking out was the real way to get back into that bowl is you have to basically, you know what I'm saying, go with the wind, and you'll be blown out before you really get anywhere. So there's no point right now in doing it now until the wind switches. So it is what it is. But yeah, go check some more spots. Well, getting ready to push in to one of my spots. Wonder what plant this is. Anyway, I'll look that up later. Getting ready to push in one of my spots that I normally frequent every year. This one relatively has a lot of sun and a lot of game back here. See how it is this year. It's probably gonna be my last spot. I'm gonna check today before I head back. But I'm gonna end up I'm gonna be scouting all the way until my quota pops off, and then I'll be hunting and scouting during that time. So the area that I'm in, the topography of it's a hill area, and it kind of drops down in elevation into this little bowl valley right here. But there's a hard wood line that runs all the way around the bowl, and I just like to check it out. The deer love this spot because of the topography of the area. Normally they bed down back here on top of the hill, and then they'll come and move their way through all of this, and wouldn't imagine that there's something to drink back there. There's definitely all types of things to eat, so they're good on that part. I'm just stepping on every stick and branch I can find, obviously. I heard something move. Just glassing over the area. So if you're new to this, it's always good to bring you optics in the field. Whether it's a rangefinder, monocule, or a pair of binoculars, or I even bring a thermal scope that I keep on my pack, for dusk and early dawn situations. I've learned that some of these binoculars and some of these whatchamacallit, rangefinders like that, they don't do too well in heard something. But yeah, they don't do too well in low light situations. So I made a decision last year to go ahead and get me a night vision camera, so I'll be able to scope areas before I walk into them, going to set up or coming out, or just scoping around in general in a low light setting and trying to see far distances. But yeah, it's always good to bring optics. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start making my way up through this, seeing if I can find any sign on the ground. So we do have a sign of game coming into this area. That one. So I just heard a deer call out that way. So I'm talking about today, I just bought my new deer call. It's the extinguisher by Illusion. So what I like about this call is you have a variety of settings on this call. For you can set it to buck, doe, or fawn, and you can go in every pitch in between. So I got this call for its variety of choice. And you don't have to run through a whole bunch of calls, and you can get one. Yeah, that's a good sign. Sounds like there's turkey back there too. Alright, we're gonna keep on moving. Okay, look at that one. Now these are all relatively fresh because it just rained yesterday. In fact, you can tell by the way of the ground and the sugar sand that it just rained because of the way the texture of the earth is. Normally back here, the sugar sand, the way it normally looks is like this. So it just rained. It just rained back here. And so all this sign is recent activity. So the goal is to not really spook anything, and not to really disturb too much of the area, but just knowing that really don't want to push too much back here and really scent this place up because I am going to be hunting this spot. I have a couple different places I'm going to be setting up back here that I already picked out from last year. This type of stuff is perfect. This is really good cover. They're not gonna really mess much into this area, and they're gonna cross through it to get to other spots that might feed on the little oak right here, but they're not really gonna stick in this area too much because of how open it is. They're more or less looking for something like this and stuff like that. All this right here is just travel area. They'll come through and feed through this and through this right here. Oh yeah, this is really beaten up. I would definitely love to see a rub somewhere. This is kind of open. So when you're scouting or when you're stalking, the biggest key to it is not giving up your position and not getting caught at what you're doing by these deer is going slow and also taking your time and stopping and looking. Because if you ever notice how deer move when they're not spooked, that's actually how they move. They go slow, when they're foraging and they're trying to move to location, and they'll stop every now and then, and they'll scrape around, stick their heads up, and that's for them. It keeps them to a minimum profile, in which it really does, because when you're hunting these deer, especially in stuff like this, it's almost like magic of how they materialize, onto your set. It's wild. Armadillo. mosquitoes on me. Normally, if you're hunting and you don't have mosquitoes, and then all of a sudden you come into like a really, really thick pod of mosquitoes, normally that means that there's a big game around, because mosquitoes, they love to follow hogs and they love to follow deer. It's either that or you're getting kind of close to a swamp, and I know that's not the case because we're on a little bit higher elevation on this side of the park. This is good. No buck sign though. Just, I don't see any scrapes yet or any rubs. So normally I cut off and go back here and cut back through the woods. But what I want to do is I want to cut down and back out. Because I really don't want to push up into that area because I know they're back there and I don't want to spook. This is a really good area. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen any rubs yet. I don't see too many acorns on the trees on the other side of the park. Have a lot more acorns than this. Heavy traffic area. Alright, so they're here. They're here just based on the traffic. I don't want to send this area up. I already know what it is back here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head on back. Try to cut back down and cut through the field. Oh, this is a well-worn game trail. All right. We're gonna backtrack. Probably sometime next week I'll try to figure out where I'm gonna put a blind back here. Either set up a primitive blind or use my vantage blind. Yep. Oh wow. Look at these. Could be a doe and a fawn. Backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna cut down this hill. Get back to y'all in a little bit. So we then came back out to that valley. The road is actually off this way. I cut back down. Sound like a truck just went by. Might be FWC. Nope. Do the dog. You see how it kind of falls. Actually, I want to kind of glass it real quick. Maybe head back to the truck. Mosquitoes all over. I wonder how hard it is to get to that tree over there. Looks like a dead tree across the valley. I think I've been back there before, if I'm not mistaken. And I cut down this way. Wonder if there's a way for me to cut up the back side of it from the other direction, because because the wind's blowing towards the valley, right? Or really, it's coming this way towards the valley right now. So you really kind of want to come the opposite way from it. So you work roundabout this way instead of going with the wind and letting this thing blow you out like I am right now. Yep. Definitely gonna be hunting this. Alright. Let's cut out of here. Carpet ants everywhere. So I just left the spot. Ended up having to take my whatchamacallit. Wow, just had a whole brain fart just then. That's how hot it is. Ended up having to take my camel shirt off because of how hot it is. I'm sitting here sweating my life off. But yeah, I was supposed to cook for y'all today, but we're gonna have to put that on the next part because these bugs are too thick and it's getting too late in the afternoon. It's almost 6 now for me to sit out here and cook with these. You know, I got every type of bug trying to eat me at the same time. Yeah, now I didn't really bring any bug spray like that. All I had was the thermocell. So yeah, I was getting all types of tore up. I'm talking about big mosquitoes. Anyway, so I'm gonna come back out probably either tomorrow or sometime this week and cook for y'all. Keep on scouting, you know, do the do. Maybe we might do some bushcraft. You know, you never know. Do some do some Boy Scout stuff. Who knows? Yeah, I had a blast today. Seen some new area. Definitely gonna hunt the area that I sat in last year, and I scouted out last year. Because as you can see this year, that thing has so much traffic in it, foot sign everywhere. Man, all right. Only thing I didn't see is I didn't see no rubs. I didn't see any drop-ins, but I did see traffic, and I didn't want to burn that area up too much, you know, because my hunting's around the corner anyway. So yeah, we're gonna keep checking you know, I think I'm gonna make that a thing and do a new spot on my scout and then go back and check an old spot that I already, you know what I'm saying, have logged in and hunted and scouted before. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep alternating and doing that, you know what I'm saying, in these next coming videos until the hunt, because it's efficient. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like, you know, I made a little leeway today, figured out where I need to stick around, and as it's looking like right now, because of how much it's been raining and stuff like that, the deer kind of sticking, from what I just seen in these two areas, they're sticking into the high area, because the area I scouted in the beginning was a low area, and you know, you can tell by all the swamp and water and stuff like that. But yeah, it looks like they've been sticking to the high area because I seen a lot of foot traffic and I heard a lot of things. And so we came back there. I just didn't want to push on it because we're not hunting right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to burn out an area before I bring a weapon to it. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all can say whatever you want in the comments about it. That's how I feel about it. It just is what it is. You'll see people go and, you know, burn up their areas and scout all through whatever they're scouting through. I just know if I suspect that there's game there and I see a good sign about it, like we just did with all that heavy recent traffic, because like I just said, it just rained. You see that big cloud back there. You know what I'm saying? It just rained. You know, within the relative 24 hours. So all what you've seen that I just showed you, all of that was fresh. So yeah, that goes to say that. Anyway, yeah, I'm get back to it tomorrow. But y'all already know. Catch you on the next one.